Back everybody. As thousands of people headed to various destinations for the holidays yesterday, authorities have called on motorists to obey traffic laws. Just last year, 235 people died on the roads over the Easter holidays, a 51% increase from 2016. And to give us an update on the current status of the national roads, we're now joined by the spokesperson of the Road Traffic Management Corporation, Zwane. Very good morning to you, Mr. Zwane, and thank you so much for joining us. Welcome.
Thank you very much for having us.
All right. Now, during this time, most people usually embark on their journeys and starting from Wednesday and Thursday. How did the roads look like yesterday?
The roads were very busy until very late yesterday. And even early this morning, we have already seen traffic volumes reaching about 1,500 an hour at around 5 o'clock this morning. Mm-hmm. So they are still very busy because people are rushing to go to places of pilgrimage and others are going on holiday. So it's going to be fairly busy until well in the afternoon today.
Yeah. So have you heard of any casualties on the roads?
Yes, unfortunately, yesterday there was a taxi that rolled down a hill in Greytown with about 13 or 14 people already killed. It's a big setback, and our heartfelt condolences goes to the families of the people who have died. And we are hoping that we are sending a word again to all drivers and motorists to be extremely cautious around this time of the year. Ensure that when driving, especially around sharp bends and all of that, they reduce speed, they avoid alcohol, ensure that people are on seat belts, and that they do not drive under the influence of alcohol, and at all times be on the lookout for pedestrians, because there are people who have to be on the roads, unfortunately, around this time of the year.
Yeah. And when last year's stats were released, the then Transport Minister Joe Masongane said that the penalties for drunk drivers are very, very light, and harsher penalties should be imposed. So how are you dealing with drunk drivers at this point?
Yes, there is a process we have engaged in with the Department of Justice to review those penalties so that they can be made harsher. But at the moment, we have a regime that we are using. We have to implement that without compromising and without taking any excuses. Nobody found driving under the influence of alcohol should be arrested immediately and be kept behind bars until they appear in court. And anybody who drives above 160, you must know they will be arrested immediately. It's not negotiable. Yeah. And we are pleading with the traffic officers to not take excuses. Arrest people for offences that require that they should be arrested. They must be arrested and kept in custody.
Yeah, and still on that point, Simon, research has shown that, in South Africa, the legal limit is very strict and much lower compared to other countries such as the United Kingdom. So what can be done to change the mindset of South Africans?
South Africans must also accept that it's also their responsibility to save their lives on the roads. The law enforcement fraternity would be able to do their work to a certain extent, but ultimately all of us who are using the roads must take responsibility, ensure that if you are driving, that your passengers are safe, that the other road users with you in the space, you are not alone, it's a shared space, and that you look out for other people, and the people who are in your vehicles are in their seatbelts at all times, and you obey the rules of the road. That's when the shift will happen, once we take responsibility. We are not taking enough responsibility. In South Africans, we have got too many excuses for not doing the right thing.
Yeah, I know I've talked to you about this on this show and on other shows on SABC, the issue of equal drink, bribes on the roads. So you're not winning this fight, are you?
It's a big battle. You would know from our previous discussions that we've been dealing with that problem. We are arresting people. In December, in Popo, we took quite a number of traffic officers off the road to address this kind of problem. And even January, we've been arresting some people. Even now, we are still out on that campaign. We're looking out even over this period, we will be watching out for people who are taking bribes and those who are giving bribes, because we want to make sure that there is safety. But we go even back to how people obtain their licenses. We go into the driver licensing centers so that only competent people must get licenses. Those who are buying licenses are the people who contribute to this problem, and we need to address that.
And so what sort of approaches will you be using this year to lower the fatalities on the roads?
This year we have an integrated multi-sectoral approach, and we're involving with SABC, the bus companies are involved. I can tell you, we know how many buses are going to Moria and what time they will be leaving, which routes they are going to be using. We're out with Hlokomela is also out on the roads with the taxi industries, also talking to their people. We started much earlier having discussions and workshops for drivers who will be driving on these long distance routes, to ensure that they are prepared themselves as individuals, they are fit to be driving those vehicles, that the vehicles themselves are fit, they are roadworthy. It's now really up to the hands of the people who will be behind the steering wheels to do the correct thing.
And we certainly hope that police visibility will not end after the Easter period and, of course, after the festive season.
Now, visibility, we know, is a major deterrent to errant behavior on the roads. So it will be kept at high levels during this period and needs to be sustained over the period of time, because accidents happen every day throughout the year. So the visibility will be kept. Yes.
Mr. Zwane, thank you so much for chatting to us this morning.
Thank you.
That was the Road Transport Management Corporation Chief, Simon Zwane, speaking to us about the state of our country's roads as we start the official long weekend. Let's go for an ad break now.